In the midst of winter, I found that there was within me an invincible summer. If you stay with me until the end, you will not only understand what I meant, you may begin to find your own invincible summer. What if the worst thing that ever happened to you was not a curse, but a clue? What if the meaning of your life is not found in happiness, success, or comfort, but in the moments that almost broke you? The most important teacher of the meaning of your life is your suffering, and one of the greatest ways to miss that meaning is to spend your entire life trying to avoid pain. When I went through suffering, not around it, not away from it, it shaped who I am as a person. It gave my life direction. It gave it weight. And if you listen to people closely, really listen, when you ask them about the meaning of their lives, they do not talk about their best days. They talk about the terrible ones, the losses, the failures, the moments where everything collapsed. A culture that tries to eliminate pain is a culture that slowly eliminates meaning. Your suffering is not a mistake. It is not a detour. It is the blueprint. Most people spend their entire lives running from their pain. They distract themselves. They numb it. They rebrand it as positivity or call it being practical. And because of that, they keep repeating the same lessons, just in different forms. Pain demands change, and change terrifies people. So we choose safe paths out of fear and call it responsibility. We stay small and call it maturity. We talk about healing, but only enough to look healed, not enough to actually transform. But here is the truth. Where your pain exists is where the light enters. Your suffering is not random. It is precise. It is pointing at something specific you are meant to face, understand, and embody. And if you actually sit with it, not escape it, not romanticize it, and ask what it is trying to teach you, your purpose does not need to be invented. It reveals itself. Your pain shows you what matters, what you care about, what you are here to do. The only way to become who you truly are is through the zing you keep avoiding. The zing that scares you, the zing that hurts. Stop running. Your life is trying to speak to you. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that there was in me an invincible summer. Even when the world feels cold and unyielding, when suffering surrounds us and shadows linger over every horizon, there is a warmth within, a light that refuses to be extinguished. This summer, hidden and invincible, lives quietly in each of us, waiting for the courage to acknowledge it. The world is often absurd, strange, and indifferent. Life presses upon us with chaos, injustice, and inexplicable pain. Yet in the midst of this, we discover meaning not outside ourselves, but in the smallest acts, the moments we choose to notice, the gestures of compassion we give or receive. Even when nothing seems certain, even when the night is long, the human spirit persists, quietly insisting upon its own presence. True generosity towards the future lies in giving everything to the present. To live fully, even under the weight of uncertainty, is to embrace this moment completely, to honor what is here, now, within reach. And in this embrace, we find our own strength, the summers that cannot be taken from us, the quiet resilience that carries us forward. Imagine Sisyphus endlessly pushing his stone, and imagine him happy. The struggle is not without value. In the act of defiance, in the persistence of effort, in the refusal to surrender to despair, we touch freedom. Freedom is not the absence of challenge, but the choice to confront it with awareness, with presence, with dignity. And in that choice, we find a strange happiness, a fulfillment born not from victory, but from engagement. There there is more to admire in humanities than to despise. In the courage to love, to forgive, to endure, we see the invincible summer reflected in others, in moments of solidarity, in acts of kindness, in the simple bravery of being alive. The human spirit reveals itself. We are capable of more than despair, more than cruelty, more than fear, and this knowledge sustains us, even when the world seems determined to teach us otherwise. Even when calamity strikes, even when darkness seems to gather endlessly around us, we are not defeated. Our inner summer persists. It is the quiet voice that whispers of possibility, that urges us to act, to create, to love, to embrace life despite its absurdities. We carry it in our hearts, a source of warmth, of light, of unyielding persistence. Revolt is not separate from happiness. To resist the injustices of life, to face the absurd with eyes open and courage unflinching, is itself an affirmation. It is the recognition that life, in all its contradictions, can still be beautiful, that even in suffering there is room for gratitude, for awareness, for the quiet celebration of being alive. So let us live, fully and deliberately. Let us meet the darkness without fear, knowing that within us lies a summer no winter can conquer. Let us acknowledge the absurd, embrace our freedom, cherish our responsibilities, and find joy in the fleeting, fragile, and extraordinary moments that life offers. For the invincible summer is not a promise from the world. It is a gift we carry within ourselves, eternal, unshakable, and quietly triumphant. And so, in the depth of winter, when all seems lost or barren, remember this truth. There is in you a summer that nothing can touch, a light that refuses to die, a force that will guide you, lift you, and remind you, always, that life, in all its absurdity and wonder, is still yours to embrace. If you ask me how to live today, in this world, with all its chaos and silence, I will not give you meaning, I will give you practice. First, stop asking life what it owes you. The world will not explain itself. It will not justify your suffering. Waiting for answers is how people fall asleep. Instead, ask yourself each morning, how can I live honestly today without lying to myself? This is the beginning of revolt. Second, refuse distraction as a way of living. Do not numb yourself constantly. Do not drown your discomfort in noise, entertainment, or false optimism. Sit with the tension that discomfort is not your enemy. It is the proof that you are awake. Third, choose action over explanation. You do not need to understand your life to live it fully. When the absurd appears, do something anyway. Create, work, love, care, not because it will last, but because it is yours to do. Fourth, limit your hope. Excessive hope is often a way to escape the present. I do not ask you to despair. I ask you to remain lucid. Live without appeal, without promises of redemption, without guarantees. This is freedom. Fifth, measure your life not by happiness but by intensity. Ask yourself, was I present today? Did I feel? Did I resist becoming smaller? A life lived in full awareness, even a difficult one, is a life of dignity. You see, absurdism does not give you meaning like a story. It gives you a stance, a way of standing upright in a world that does not care. And if you live with honesty, with revolt, with presence, you will not need meaning. Living itself will be enough.